Hello again, everyone. I'm Richard Weil, and I'm the principal and owner of National Restaurant Consultants. And we welcome you again to our 106th video of the NRC Helpful Moment. And once again, we're joined by our good friend and co-branding marketing partner, Mr. Brian Devine from Top Line Management. Hello, Brian. How are you doing today?
I'm terrific, Richard. How about yourself?
Oh, lovely. It's a little chilly here in Colorado today. We've got a lot of cool weather ahead of us. But
Indeed.
I could tell you the individual who's our special guest, Charmaine Taylor, she's sitting in Houston, Texas, and it's probably not 34 degrees in Houston today, is it, Charmaine?
Well, they're saying it will be in a couple of days, so
Yeah,
I'll get a chance to get a taste
the
of
big
just what you're
freeze.
feeling.
Yeah, well, we're going to be about zero a couple days, so we'll still be a little chillier. But anyway, Charmaine, I can't thank you enough. Charmaine and I actually are part of a great group of people that are graduate of the Conrad N. Hilton College of Hotel Restaurant Management from the University of Houston. We both share a group we call Eric's Club, a distinguished group of alumna from the University of Houston Hilton College. And Charmaine and I have the great pleasure of serving the college still after all these years of graduating. But Charmaine is an outstanding, successful woman in her own rights. And today's topic is resilience. It's our 106th episode, but it's great to have this conversation with her because Charmaine really understands what it's like to work, not just as COVID has presented in the last 10 months or so, but resilience in terms of her career and her success. So, Charmaine, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about what that word resilience means in both your career and here in the past 10, 11 months that we've been dealing with the pandemic. So, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share. For those of you, all of us are in the same industry. Even though I'm not in the restaurant side of the business, I have run a meeting planning firm for the last 21 years called On-Site Partners. Although we're based in Houston, about 80% of our business historically has been other cities throughout the country, major convention sites with groups of 1,000 plus. And COVID, I am sad to say, was not my first experience with dealing with something that was unexpected, out of my control, and something that I had to practice resilience in order to get through. I'm going to focus today on just a couple of those instances. As we grow older, we have more and more opportunities that present themselves for us to exercise those muscles called resilience. So I'm just going to start with my first one and then my most recent one. My first one was actually in 2008 when the bottom fell out of the industry, or I should say out of the economy, and there was a mortgage crisis. My business was primarily in oil and gas and financial services companies. I did broker-dealer meetings for the insurance industry as well as oil and gas related meetings. So 2008 was that crossroads period for me where I got a chance to see what it was like to actually know when business may not be coming. And how I was able to rebound from that is a very important lesson that I've learned that I want to share with this audience. Focus on the main thing. The main thing is not what you think it is until it is the only thing. And for me, what I began to focus on was what strength do I have in my industry? There are lots of meeting planners out there. Some do logistics, some do food and beverage, some do everything. What can I focus on that there's a need for? And that was registration services because I had a strong background in technology and have been doing registration for smaller groups. And so what I was able to do was to cut my costs and cut my hours, and also be able to fill a niche for people, including my fellow meeting planners that had no interest in or expertise in registration. And 2008 and 2009 ended up being two of the strongest years and award-winning years for my business because I focused on the main thing, the one thing that I could do that would earn me money while I was asleep, because every time a registration was processed online, that was income for my business. But yet at the same time, I could lower my staff costs and other overhead. My most recent challenge, and I have to tell you, this is much tougher. When all you have to worry about is how well your business is going to do, as sad as it is to say, it's easy. I'm a full-time caregiver. And I had been a caregiver for my father in 2008 when the resilience was required, but only my father. In 2009, I began taking care of my mom after a stroke. And then she later was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And I moved her with me, still running a business, still raising a family in 2011. In 2018, I'm on a flight to meet our grown children in Las Vegas to celebrate my husband's birthday and my son's birthday. And my husband gets off the plane and can't breathe and can't walk. And that would begin a journey for me of being a full-time caregiver for my husband with prostate cancer and pulmonary hypertension, as well as my mom with Alzheimer's and then cancer, and running a business. So when COVID came, I was like, wow, can you do anything else to make my life exciting, to make me prove that I can be resilient? And that's when I learned my second lesson. And it really does tie into that first lesson about the main thing. It also means that you need to be mindful first, knowing yourself and your limitations, and then to focus on rejuvenating yourself and only signing up for what you can do. And so that taught me before I learned how to make money while I slept. And then I needed to learn how making money wasn't the most important thing, but maintaining my sanity was. And so now as we approach COVID, I'm spending my time helping other small business owners and colleagues learn how to be mindful, how to take time to focus on who they are. I think the big change for our industry has been we've always had letters behind our name. You don't see any up there today. You know, my CMP, my degrees. None of those things matter right now. You know, because everybody is affected, whether you are a CEO or you are the dishwasher or the janitor. Nobody's working right now, and for people who weren't prepared for that, it's tough. And so what you have to learn to do is realize that the most important thing, your family, your sanity, keeping a roof over your head, focus on the main thing. And as it relates to holding it all together, be gentle with yourself. Understand that you're not going to necessarily have the capacity or the capability to do all that you used to do, nor is your attitude going to be what it needs to be. If you've got kids that are studying at home, or like me, I've got two patients, you're not going to be able to do all of that. So be gentle with yourself and be mindful of what your capabilities and capacity are. So those are the things I think that I've learned about being resilient in my circumstances.
That's incredibly outstanding information and very inspiring for those in our industry, because it's real life and it's real things that have gone on. Brian, I'm going to pivot over to you real quick and talk about some of those things in terms of focus on the right thing. So Brian, and we'll get back to you in a second, Charmaine. So hang on.
Yeah. Thank you, Charmaine, for sharing all that. That really, really impactful. So thank you so much. All I wanted to talk about when it comes to focus is when you are, and again, as the marketer person here, if you're focused on social media to help grow your business, there's a little trick that I wanted to make sure that everyone's thinking about. It's something that you can do that's real simple, that can have an immediate impact. And I've really been diving in to find out what are the things that we can do to have an immediate impact. Now, if you are putting out content and people are liking it, sharing it, commenting, there is a simple way for you to ask those people to like your page if they haven't already. And there's actually tools that are free that you can, let's say you had 500 comments, you can ask all 500 to like your page. And then when they do, or if they respond, what you can do is just simply thank them for doing that, and then give them an offer, a limited time. Get 10% off on your next visit, and it expires in the next 10 days or whatever it might be. But the idea here is that you're gaining exposure on social media, so utilize that. Don't just let it go. So ask people to take that one extra step, and for doing that, you give them a reason to come in right away. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It's something that anybody can do. It can be done completely free. Just take some time to do it, and put somebody maybe on staff to do it, once a day. Just check on that. And again, the tools, they're free. So you can just have it, just start doing that on a regular basis and start bringing people in right away. So I just wanted to add that today.
So if we sit back and we think about ourselves, and a little bit of what Charmaine was referring to as your own individual things with your business, et cetera, really what matters the most is the next question, Charmaine. I'm going to give to Charmaine. How is your family today, Charmaine?
Well, right now they are doing well because we look at every day as a gift. My mother tomorrow will be 91 years old, which is, I never would have expected. And so I'm very, very grateful for that. My husband was able to retire from a job that he had been with for 35 years, and got an excellent package. And again, it's about looking within your entire circle. Something that Brian said that kind of stuck with me, when you're talking about these social media posts, is be transparent, because you'd be surprised how much business connects with people. People don't do business with businesses. They do business with people. And by being who you are, authentically you actually will connect with customers. Most of the people that are in my world, including my customers, also are aware of my family. And at first I was a little apprehensive to share that, but they became friends of mine on social media. And some of my biggest clients over the last 20 years are some of the people who respond the most to my posts. So don't be afraid to be authentic and real. And when you make these posts, everybody's expecting to see something that's cultivated, but just be real. And being real has opened so many doors for me. Every piece of business that I've ever had has been by referral. I don't think I've ever actually advertised. I guess, Brian, if I knew about social media, or if I should say if social media existed when I was really, really soliciting business on a regular basis, I would have used that. But it's all about doing business with people. So I encourage each and every one of you, when you write those posts, to be authentic, to be real, and you'd be surprised how many people you will reach.
That is great advice. And I think my summary today is be human, number one. And to take Charmaine's advice, be resilient. And so that's our story today, folks. That's our NRC Helpful Moment. Can't thank Charmaine Taylor enough for being with us today. And I hope to get to see you again in person, Charmaine. I know we've done quite a few Zoom calls, et cetera, but we'll see each other again.
We're going to be resilient. We'll reconnect.
That's right. That's right. So,
we're going to get back to business.
All right. So thank you, Charmaine. Thank you, Brian, as always. So long for now, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everybody.